You're good.
Well, Dave, in Shohei's last outing, he of course was excellent, getting through that 5 innings of no-hit work. When you look at him today, you talked a little bit about how come October, if there was a need to maybe push him, that would potentially be a part of the conversation. Would that start today, or was something that would start come October?
That could start today. Yeah, we've had good conversations. Obviously you've got to watch the game and see how it plays out. But if all goes well, we'd love to see him get into that 6th inning and through that 6th inning.
Considering this is likely just his final start of the season, when you look at what his build-up has looked like, kind of how the stuff has been playing, and considering how excellent it was in his last outing, have you just been kind of seeing what he's usually capable of on the mound?
Yeah, I think so. I think that, just seeing Shohei's kind of, obviously the performance over the last 3 or 4 starts, there's been a ramp up of intensity, performance, and I think that was his plan, and he even mentioned it. He's done with sort of that spring training mindset, and he's in playoff mode. So, this is going to be his last start before the postseason. So he's going to lay it all out there and pitch well, and we need to win this ball game.
With that being said, a week from today is game 1 of the wild card series beginning. What's the likelihood that he starts a week from today?
We don't know yet. I think that it just kind of gives us some options, but the likelihood of him starting a playoff game in that first series are very high.
What gave you guys the comfort to go from 5 to 6 innings with the cap?
I think it's just more of, I mentioned it, after his last start, just kind of being able for him to see it, for us to see it, to give us a little bit more options in the postseason, and to kind of reach a marker that we haven't reached up to this point, and just feeling like we've got a really, really solid base. And for me, the conversations, and I just don't like the bait and switch, and so I feel really good with the conversation I had with Shohei about how today could potentially play out.
If you guys went on like a longer run, like how delicate is that balance going to be between still trying to protect him somewhat, but also trying to like get the most production you can out of him on both sides of the ball?
I think that this is me talking to the training staff, talking to Shohei, feeling like we've got a really good base now, and I think that there's a lot of innings that are still out there to be had. So once we get to the postseason, it's about winning. So there's a reckless part of it, which I don't think we'll broach that point, but to think that us pushing him in a certain capacity or game, I can see something like that.
If he is able to get to like 6 innings in the postseason, what can that open up to in terms of options in the postseason, in terms of like fewer guys being able to go to, fewer innings to cover, and stuff like that?
It's big, and as you guys know, I mean, when you're in the postseason, the familiarity with another arm, taking down another inning, resting a guy, to getting a different matchup, all that stuff matters. So any extra inning you can get with your most talented pitchers is a benefit.
You guys were able to work around the extra rest that Yamamoto needed last postseason. Does that get more complicated when you have 2 guys who might need that? Does the extra starters you guys have make that a little bit easier?
I don't think it makes it more complicated because we have, essentially 6 guys that we trust to take down starts. I think last year it was a lot more difficult, but I think this year with the options that we have starting games, I think that we feel really good about that.
Giannis said he'd be open to pitching on 4 days rest. Like I think back to like the All-Star game, is that something you guys could consider in a postseason environment too, depending on how things go?
Yeah, I think everything should be on the table. The main thing is that Yamamoto's open to it, which is great. But you also have to think about the other alternatives and what that would look like going on, short rest for him. So again, we have a lot of viable options. But again, the most important thing is that he's willing to do whatever he can for the ball club.
a lot of not just the level of focus of this group, considering the Diamondbacks are playing and fighting for a wild card spot. You guys are looking to win the division. What are you hoping to see just from your guys today, and specifically in this series, as it's kind of time to get greedy?
I expect the same level of play, of focus. You know, those guys play us tough. They always have, and like you said, they're playing for a playoff spot, and so yeah, I expect it to be a good environment and us to play good baseball like we have the last 10 days.
Do you still expect Rock and Roki to be activated tomorrow?
I expect Roki to be activated tomorrow. Rock, we're still kind of day-to-day right now.
In terms of like trying to figure out workload, or is there something with the shoulder that's making this?
Just kind of workload, just kind of making sure he feels good. Yeah, just some conversations with Brock and just making sure that he's put in a position to feel good if he is activated, and that's no guarantee. But so we feel that just giving it an extra day, we'll have a little bit more information, and he's gonna be out there playing catch today, and we'll know more tomorrow.
How do you see Roki fitting in as we go forward?
Well, he's going to be in the pen. Don't know what role. I think he's embraced it. I think he's done a very nice job. But yeah, I think once he's in the pen, then we'll make decisions on when we use him.
He went on 2 days rest his last rehab outing. Is that about what you would expect for him, at least for now, or could he go like Monday?
Yeah, I think that's what he's done to kind of give him a little bit of to try to feel his way into this role. But as we, if he's on the postseason roster, anything's on the table. So there might be a situation where we could try to get him a 2 out of 3, but right now where we're at, we need to win baseball games. So I don't know what that looks like as far as roles, and we're going to run the best guys out there that we feel.
Just quickly, today MLB announced that the ABS will be a part of the game next year. You all got to experience it during spring training. What are your thoughts just about this new rule, this new addition to the game?
I think it's great. I think it's. I think the fans enjoyed it in spring training. I think there's a strategy with when you use your challenges, and I also think that it helps raise the level of consistency for umpires, and that's a good thing because if you miss by a little bit in your challenge, that probably never feels good. So it just heightens that focus, which is ultimately good for the game. And it's not a knock on umpires. I think it's just a good thing for everyone if something kind of elevates, the level of performance.
Anything more definitive on Will's timeline?
No, he's going to go with us to Seattle. It's a day-to-day thing. Yeah, so nothing new.
And Mookie Betts is a superstar in the field, but he's been nominated for the Clemente Award. How can you describe what he's doing outside of the field to deserve that honor of being named for the Clemente Award?
Mookie's doing great. Him and his foundation, I know Bree, his wife, is involved. They've got a great team of people that help off the field and impact lives, not only on the field. So it's a hard thing to do. I know he gets a lot of satisfaction helping people. He has a platform, as you said, he's a superstar, to reach people, to make people's lives a little bit easier, a little bit more joyful, and for him to be nominated as our Dodgers nominee for the Roberto Clemente Award, it's a huge honor, and I think he holds it up there with all those other awards that he's received.